Alright guys, we're picking up where we left off. We have a test world. We added one turret to it. The turret doesn't do anything yet, but it does have an animation for idle and an animation for shooting. If we press play, it plays the shoot animation. Alright, now I'd like to make it where this turret can rotate and play the actual shoot animation while we're in the world. So you're going to come over here to this barrel and you're going to add a script to this barrel. So click on the barrel, click on the add script here, and if you click this folder right here, you will be able to choose the location of where you're putting your script. Scripts end in .gd, and I want to put this in my scripts folder, so I'm using this arrow to go up back to the root. res is the root. Now I'm going to go to scripts, online tutorial, and here is where I'm going to save my barrel script. Create. Okay, so I have a script and we are ready to get rocking and rolling here. So I'm going to hide some of this stuff. And I'm going to click animation. That's going to get rid of that twice. If you click this button, it maximizes this window so we can have maximum room to write our stuff. We're going to go to the online docs. Here is the button right here. This is going to have the stuff that we need, and we're going to copy paste some of this stuff and we're going to change it. So if I'm on the Godot docs, I got here by clicking this online docs button. On the left hand side, go down to 2D tutorials, click on 2D movement overview. Now we're on this page. We're going to scroll down and we are looking for rotation and movement, rotation plus movement. We're going to grab this big block of text here. I'm going to copy this. And we're pretty much done with that. Let's paste this here. Now, there are some things we need to do to get this to work properly. First thing is the spacing. You'll notice that there's no tab symbols here, so I'm going to fix that first off. So I'm going to remove all of these extra spaces and I'm going to redo the spacing myself, because it's when you copy paste off of that, it puts it in incorrectly. So I'm fixing this right quick. It technically is correct, it's just it doesn't use the tabs, which is what we're going to use. Okay, so I'm going to go back to line 10. This is 1 tab, 11 1 tab, 12 1 tab, 13 2 tabs, 14 1 tab, 15 2, 16 1, 17 2, 18 1, 19 2, 22 gets 1, 23 gets 1, and 24 gets 1. So that is now the correct spacing for everything. Okay, so here you're going to need some buttons to turn your barrel. Let's start by adding some comments here. Here we go. We are coating the barrel. So there's coating the barrel. We don't need this speed here. We're going to get rid of speed because our barrel's not going to move anywhere. Let's get rid of that. Rotation speed, we can leave that. This is how fast our barrel turns. Okay. This is movement direction. We don't really need it. I'm going to leave it though. Movement direction. I don't know if there's 2 R's in that or what. It's probably 1. Rotation direction. What way are we facing? Input, did we press a button? Start off at 0. So our rotation starts at 0. What is our current heading, captain? I could put that, that's funny. Okay, so this is basically like what direction are we going and how fast, velocity. So that's what this vector 2 is going to hold. Okay, so now our buttons for movement. Did we press right? Turn to the right. Really, that says add 1 to the rotation direction, so it's like adding 1 to this number. So let's do add 1 to dir to rotate. Well, this is going to be basically the same thing for this next line. This is going to be subtract to rotate. Perfect. Okay, this one is did we press left? We do not need this one because we don't move. I'm going to save it though. We don't move here either, so this would be that. But we do want to fire, so let's keep going. This plays every frame. Nothing to see here. Keep going. That's what pass means. Nothing to see here. Keep going. Input. Grabs stuff from the above function, puts it there. Checks input. Checks input function. So here's our input function, is this whole part right here. So every frame it checks to see did we push a button and did we do anything up here. And this is sets our rotation and considers lag. That's what delta does. Velocity, are we moving and in what direction? I think that has 2 R's. I don't know. Okay, are we moving in what direction? So we need something for this line. We're going to change this one to our fire button. I don't know if you guys have one or not, so I'm going to go to project settings, input. I'm going to do that again slower. Project settings, input, and then scroll down. I have a left, right, up, and down, and those are WASD. I have a special, which is my right click button. I have a fire, which is my left click or my space. So these are the things I can work with. I also have spawn for F1. So here I want this one to be fire. Did I press the fire button? Did we press fire? And next one. Oh, I don't think we need that one. Let's comment this one out. We might use it later. Okay. We've added comments to everything, so now we know what all of these things are, what they do. And now we need to make the fire mechanism work. So we have, if we push to the right, it rotates our character to the right, or in the positive direction. And then if we push left, it makes our character rotate in the negative direction. Okay. Now, if we push fire, we want to actually fire. So I'm going to get this, and I'm going to make a new function for shooting. So I'm going to just create this function right now. So I'm going to type function. This is my own personal function called shoot. This is not in the game. We're making it right now. So do this when we say shoot. Alright, so when we say shoot, we want the animation player to play. So I'm going to do $sprite animation player. So right there, $S sprite animation player. And we want to .play, and we want to play the shoot animation. Perfect. Then we need to wait for it to actually finish so nothing like interrupts it. So let's do yield, and then we're going to wait for the sprite animation player to finish. Then after that finishes shooting, we need to go back to the actual idle animation. So let's do sprite animation player dot play idle. Perfect. Okay, so now all we have to do is call this function when we want to do it. So we're going to say this plays shoot, this waits for the animation to stop, and this plays the idle animation. Okay, so when we call the shoot function, it does this stuff down here. Plays shoot, waits for the shoot animation to finish, and then plays idle. And when do we want to call this function? We want to call this whenever we press the fire button. So up here, let's go and let's say shoot. And that's it. So if we push to the right, we move right. Push to the left, we move left. If fire is pressed, we will shoot, and it will do all of this good stuff here. So we're doing, this should be perfect. Let's go to our testing world and see if this stuff works. So no projectiles are going to get shot just yet, but we should be able to rotate and fire. It looks like our guy is stuck in the fire position, but if I push the first fire, it'll reset it. So basically, when we first create this guy, we need to tell him to start out on the correct animation. So let's go back to our code on our guy, and let's make another function on ready or something like that. There it is, ready. And this runs when the object is first created. So it was stuck in the wrong animation at the beginning, so we're going to put it into the right animation. You can grab line 33 and put it up there. Play the idle animation. So as soon as it gets created, it starts out in the idle form. Save this. Control S, go back to our test world, and play. Now we start out in the idle position. If we push our fire button, we play the firing animation. Perfect. No bullets fly out yet, but we can turn and we can play that shoot animation, which is pretty big. Alright, this video was kind of long. See you guys in the next one.